next guest today that I am happy to welcome are Allison Carney and Amy Noel. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here. And congratulations to you both on your awards as Campbellsville University's Teachers in Excellence. Correct?
Yes, that's it.
Yes. And I suppose you were nominated by your principals.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So, Amy, you would have been at Washington County Elementary,
Right.
recommended by your principal, and then Allison, you would have been recommended by your principal at North Washington.
Yes.
And then, unfortunately, Monica Sykes, we believe that's correct, is the Washington County High School teacher who was unable to be here today. So we'll congratulate her too on Channel 6. And maybe she can be with us in the future. But, you know, with school starting, I wanted to get your all's take on things. And as being excellent teachers, what it is that, when does school start, first of all?
Wednesday, August 10th for teachers, Thursday, August 11th for students.
And I'm delighted that it's a little bit later this year.
Yes.
Yes, we are too.
Yes, I know you are. And so, to get as professional teachers, excellent teachers, what is it that you think that students need to be preparing for at this time to be to be ready for school to start and to have a good, successful school year?
Can I go ahead with this?
Okay, just, having their materials, all their supplies ready.
Because they've gotten those, a list sent
Yes,
home
I
to
know.
them?
At our
or-
school, they were mailed out.
Okay.
They're also on the
Yes.
county website, the Washington County Schools District website for
Okay.
all the schools.
What is that website called?
It's washington.kyschools.us.
Yes.
Okay. So they can look on there in case they did not get their letter
Or if they
mailed
lost
home.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that has a list of the supplies that they're going to need
For every school.
for every school
Mhm.
and every grade, I suppose. Okay. So that's certainly a good start. So they need to come in the first day of school with their supplies.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know that's often a pretty quite a few things.
Yes, a lot of times they bring them to meet your teacher night, and that's very helpful. That way you can get them sorted and
And teachers
Oh,
can
so
kind of
you
see
have
what
a-
they
we have
get
a-
and what they don't get, and what we
Right.
might need to get
Okay.
ourselves before too.
Okay,
It gives us
before
an idea.
the first day of school. And let's meet the teacher night, and when is that?
Well, they're different at different schools. North Washington's main one for grades, for all grades, like 1st through 8th, is Monday the 8th from, I think it's from 4 to 6, I believe. But they can look on the website to check
And
and
would
make
they
sure.
have gotten a message home on that too?
They should get a
along with their-
one-call at least.
Oh,
where-
a one call.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Those
Yes.
one calls are really good.
They are. They're handy. They are.
Yeah.
And they should have. I mean, there's probably things in the paper as well. And
Right.
but I think 4th grade at North Washington has one tomorrow, and 6th grade has one tomorrow. So I think kindergarten or preschool have already had theirs, but there's different ones for all the different grades. So I don't know about how
And,
Washington County
Washington
Elementary.
Elementary School, kindergarten is having theirs Monday night. I'm not for sure of the time, but they could check the website, or it's probably in the newspaper also.
Now, are you the kindergarten?
No, I teach second.
Second grade.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
1st grade through 5th grade, we're having ours on Tuesday night.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they can bring their supplies then and meet their teacher. And
Uh-huh. I just think that's so nice. We never had anything like that.
It is great. It's great to meet the parents, and
Yeah.
you know, and sometimes, I mean, usually in our schools are small. Usually we know our students even coming in, but still, sometimes you might not. So, or new students, especially if you're new to
Yeah.
the area, you get to meet them and meet their parents.
I can still remember when I was little, the knot I'd have in my stomach the first day of school because you didn't even know who your teacher was going to be.
Right.
Right.
And
that's another thing. They can come and they can get their schedules, find out whose homeroom they're in, you know, that sort of thing, because they may not know that
yeah.
yet.
So not only will they, because I guess, do all grades now have a homeroom teacher and then other teachers as well? Or does that start in the upper grades?
At our school, it's 3rd and up.
I think
Okay.
in our school it is too. I think so.
Okay. So again, then if they're in 3rd grade or higher, then they'll get to meet their homeroom teacher plus go meet their other teachers.
Right.
Because you know, in
Yes,
seventh
fabulous.
and 8th grade at North, they have 4 teachers, or yes, 4, 5. Actually, I think they have 5 different teachers, so it is good for them to come
Yeah.
and meet us before.
Yeah. So then, and I hope that, I guess your recommendation would be that all the parents bring their children to this.
Yes.
Yes.
And do
Yes.
you have a good turnout for that?
Usually
Yes.
we do.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Because so that's
It's just as
that would be
exciting
the
for us.
first the first recommendation would be for parents to actually involve their children in that.
Yes.
By
That'd be
being
great.
able to. And I know not all parents can because of work
Right.
schedules and things like that, but these are in the evenings,
Right.
They
I
are.
suppose, to make it accommodating.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And so, so then they can bring their supplies when they meet the teacher. And what other recommendations do you have?
Well, besides being prepared and coming to the parent-teacher night or the first meet-the-teacher night, good night's sleep. Getting a
Very
good night's sleep. And
important.
it's so hard, I know, because as a teacher, you know, I'm not on schedule during the summer. But it's good to try to get on schedule before, even
Yeah.
maybe this week, kind of working on it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
good night's sleep and
Get a
practice.
good breakfast.
Yes,
If they
a-
don't eat at school, our schools provide breakfast.
I think
That's
this-
something we need
That's
to
new,
discuss.
isn't
Yes, it
it?
is. Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. You all tell me
Yeah.
about that.
Well, the 3 are all the schools except for the high school are eligible or are getting free breakfast and lunch this year.
Yeah.
Every student in the district.
Yeah.
So
I think that's
it is.
fabulous.
It is
Great.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
because you know, sometimes parents are running late, and you just grab a Pop-Tart when you go out the door or
Right.
something, So now they, as long as they get to school, I guess they have to get to school a little early.
Yes, I think our students are told to be there by like 7:40. So they have time to eat
I
breakfast.
think we
and-
dismiss from breakfast at 7:50, so 7:40 would
Right.
be probably the
Yeah.
latest.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And I guess that the students would need to be riding the bus, or I guess their parents that bring the kids. So bring their children. So as long as they're there by 7:40, or even,
Right.
they could still eat breakfast. Yeah,
Right.
And then,
Yeah.
of course, free lunch, too.
that's
It
fabulous
is.
for everybody.
It is for everybody, except for the high school. They're
Yeah.
not, they didn't qualify for some reason yet.
Yeah.
But yes, everyone
Yeah.
except for the high school.
So that's great. That's great
That's great.
news. So children need to get a good night's sleep, and I know that from my own experience with my own children that it's hard to get kids to bed in the summer
Yes.
at a reasonable time, particularly when it's still light outside.
I know.
Yes. Yes, it
And
is.
they don't think it's time to go to bed
Yes,
yet.
it is. Yes.
But really, you need that. I think with
I think that
kids, they
for
recommend
me, the
10
easiest thing
hours.
is making sure I get up early for a couple of days, because then you're tired and you're ready to go to bed earlier
Right.
before school
Ah,
starts.
there
So
you
that's
go.
what works for me.
So
But
there's the key.
yes,
Yeah.
So get the children to bed early, and then
Up
get them
early.
up early.
Right.
get them up early.
Yeah, two sides to this.
Right,
thing.
right.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, so now let's see, Allison, you teach what grade?
7th and 8th grade.
7th and 8th. Oh, they're they're the ones that, don't they know it all, Allison?
They do kind of, yes. But I wouldn't teach them if I didn't appreciate it in some ways.
So that's good, yeah. And I'm sure it's really hard getting them to get to bed because they don't think they need all that sleep.
Right.
But actually, I think studies show that even that age need more sleep than the little ones.
Yes.
They need 10 hours of sleep.
That's why a lot of high
Yes,
schools
yes.
have gone to starting an hour later nationwide. A lot of them have.
Okay. So what
Because-
time is our school going to start it?
Um,
The North Washington starts at,
I think our students are considered tardy after 8:10.
okay.
So
But you probably need to be there by 8
I would say 8.
if you're not going to have breakfast.
I
Right.
think ours is the tardy is 7:55, I believe.
They dismiss earlier.
Yes.
So
We get out earlier so the buses can get to
Okay.
North Washington, and
Okay,
we get out at 2:51, I think is when our bell rings, 2:51.
okay.
And your all's, I think in the afternoon is,
it's like 3:10 and 3:15.
yeah.
You know, staggering all the different grade levels. But
Yeah,
yeah, so I think the late bell for us is 8:10. But
yeah.
generally we start homerooms at 8 o'clock, 8:05. So
Okay, okay. So those are good recommendations that you all have. And what else? What would you recommend to parents in regard to preparing the children, in addition to the sleep habits and the what about when school does, like, I suppose it's good to have a routine every day, not only going to bed and getting up, but study time. I think you all give a whole lot more homework than
Yeah.
Than
when
we used to.
my kids were in school. I mean, that's what I'm hearing from
Well,
parents.
that's parents and students need to keep an open mind about that, because you know there's only so much we can do, and those are not. It's not just our decisions sometimes as far as that goes, but yes, study time. Hate to say it, but it's a good practice. It's good, you know, if they decide that they want to go to college beyond high school, they're going to have to study
Yeah.
on their own and make,
Yeah.
you know,
So
on their
do
own
you
time.
all give homework?
Yes.
We do.
Uh-huh.
Not a whole lot.
Not a
We
whole
don't
lot.
give a whole
We do
lot.
more.
Not a whole
I do
lot.
more like weekly homework,
Uh-huh.
weekly, you know, weekly assignments
It's
that they
due,
have
like, on-
several days to do.
Complete it.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
We do a lot of that too.
But
Okay.
the high school kind of they give a lot, so they kind
Yeah.
of wish we would give them more to prepare them. But
Well, it's probably good for parents to have a study time for the children.
Make
And-
sure they check, like we send home, especially with the younger kids, we send home in their folders like agenda books that have their homework written in, their behavior, just for the parents to check that every night. And
Oh,
we
okay.
ask them to initial it so that we know they've seen it.
Uh-huh.
And that's a good way to communicate. You know, if we send a note home or if they send notes to us, you know, that's where we know where to look.
I
Their
see.
agenda books.
Okay,
So-
so everybody has an agenda book, right?
Well, I know at our school, second grade and up
Uh-huh.
does. I don't think kindergarten and first, you know, do this, but
Uh-huh.
just, you know, to check that because there's lots of important things that come home.
Does that give an overview of the day's activities and, like, you know, how their conduct was and what they need to have for the next day and
Well, like we have them write their homework in it. The students write their own homework in
Okay.
it daily. And then we do a little clip chart system for behavior, like green, yellow, orange, different colors. And they have to, in my class, they have to circle the color that they ended on every day. And that way it lets the parents know their behavior for the day and, you know, if they need to talk, you know, to them about anything or, so it's a good way to communicate.
yeah. Do teachers ever call the parents
So,
and if the student has had a rough day?
rough days are good days,
Yeah.
even too, just to praise them sometimes.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
We want them
have
to know. We don't
email.
want them to, to
Right.
know the bad
Is that
things.
still a, there used to be a program, and I know they had at St. Dominic, catch the student being good.
Yes.
Is that still in existence?
I do caught being good tickets.
Caught being good?
Like if I catch them doing something nice for somebody else, or
We give them, at North, we give them star cards because we reach for the stars at North. So if we catch them doing something, we give them a star card and identify what they were doing and where they were, and they can get awards each week for that if they turn
Oh.
those star cards in and they're chosen.
we
So,
have great tickets, sort of like that, school wide.
Uh-huh.
If they're caught doing something nice, they earn a great ticket, and they put it in the box in our cafeteria, and then they're drawn out every Friday. Like 5 students are drawn out, and they get
So that's randomly drawn
right,
out then?
right. They just draw out of the.
I think we draw daily. We do it every morning during announcements.
Uh-huh.
So.
And then are they mentioned in the announcements?
They are.
I like that. And so then, and if the name is drawn out, so that's announced, but did you say there was some other kind of reward or?
Sometimes we have like McDonald's certificates, like
Oh,
they
wow.
get a free slushie or snappy tomato pizza certificates.
Wow.
We have
Yeah.
a lot of things that they can choose from. I mean, they could get something as simple as like a pencil if they
Right.
choose
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
we also do like homework passes. The middle schoolers love those, because they'll get a homework pass that they can use.
That they won't have
Or an
to do
extra
their
freebie.
homework.
We have these things called freebies that they use if they need to go to their locker during class or something like that, so they can get an extra freebie. Or
Wow.
yeah, so
That's really nice.
so it's good to get star cards and
Yeah.
Great tickets.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, those are nice incentives to help the student. I just, what can I say? We never, we just didn't have those things.
Right. No.
It's definitely changed.
Yeah. So, so those are good ideas for the parents to be sure and check those every day, and when the student comes home, and and I guess there's dress codes, aren't there? for
Yes,
the-
and those are actually available online too to make sure. If you
Okay.
want to check, you can check your school's website, or you can look at the district website, and the dress code policies
Yes,
Uh-huh.
I
are
know
on
we
there.
sent them home with their supply list because ours have changed a little bit this year.
Uh-huh.
So.
And what are they like?
I know our polos used to be like blue or red, I believe, gold maybe.
Mhm.
Now it's any color polo, I believe. But they can check. I know everybody received one this summer with their supply list. And I'm sure it's on the webpage also.
So any color polo, and then is it still the khaki shorts or the navy?
Navy. We do. I know we do use that
we
at
don't.
our school.
Ours
You-
is totally different, but
What is yours?
well, it's there's lots of different grade levels have different rules because we
Oh.
have from preschool all the way up through 8th grade, so
Uh-huh.
so each grade level has their own policy. But we don't do like uniforms. We don't do polos and stuff. The kids can wear their own clothes, but they have to follow certain
Uh-huh.
rules.
Okay. So like, you have to wear socks? Or with the tennis
Well, you
shoes?
do need
or-
to wear tennis shoes for PE days.
Oh,
That's
okay.
for sure.
No flip-flops.
No flip-flops.
No flip-flops?
Oh.
So,
I think we can
Or
actually
shirts have to
wear
be
flip-flops.
tucked in, or?
No, it's more like certain. You can't wear jeans that have holes in them, or leggings as pants, or you can't wear a skirt that's too short, or shorts that are too short for us.
I see.
I know in middle school we have a lot of trouble with shirts. Your shirts need to be at your collarbone. They have to be at your collarbone.
Uh-huh.
Can't be below that. So just things like that. I'm not really sure about the younger ones' policy as much, but we
Okay.
have different policies for different grade levels.
But that, I know, the kids at North Washington, as you said, they don't wear uniforms.
No.
Yeah. But now they do at Washington County
Yes.
Elementary.
yes.
And Washington County Middle,
And the middle, I think
I
they
think
do.
they do
sure they
too.
follow
I think they do more
dress
like.
code.
Now the high school doesn't. I don't think, or they,
I don't
okay,
think so.
yeah. So, okay. And, so now tell me then, what you all got these awards on? What was it for?
Well, each year, each school is responsible, or the principal can nominate one teacher from each school. So actually at North, I think they nominate an elementary teacher and a middle school teacher. And so once you're nominated, they let you know, and then you have to kind of apply for it. Is that kind of how you
Right.
saw it. We apply for it basically.
So you write up
Yes.
some of the,
Some of our teaching methods, some of our
Different
experiences,
questions.
right?
Yeah.
We answer a variety of questions
oh,
that,
okay,
Yes.
okay.
And submit those to the Board of Education.
I
and then
see.
they decide.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So like I was chosen as the middle school winner, but out of North Washington and Washington County, and so she was chosen out of North Washington and Washington County Elementary. So
Okay, and so what were some of the your teaching methods? I suppose you, where do you get those? I mean, or just from your studies when you were in college, or
Some.
working on your teaching
a
certification?
lot of professional development.
Yes.
A lot
I
of
see.
professional development.
Okay.
And a lot of watching other teachers and learning from other teachers. I mean, everything I know and I do, I know from other teachers who are successful. So,
So, give me an example, Allison, of what have been some of those successful methods?
well, I teach writing, which can be kind of boring. And so to try to get students, excited and involved, I do anything I can for to give them a variety of activities, things that they have choice in. They really like to have a choice. And also you differentiate it so that you still get the same outcome from them, but they're having to go through the same learning process and the same critical thinking processes. So, I might, I do a lot of argumentative writing. So it all starts with how do I present like an argument to them and make them choose their claim, and you just have to get them excited about it. So I do a lot of I do a lot of like hands-on learning, a lot of like putting them in the situation. So I don't know, Amy, do you want to
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I
Yeah.
mean, so that gets the
a lot of real world,
Yeah.
because argumentation is,
exactly.
and they love to argue. They're middle school,
Yeah.
so if you can make it real world for them, like actual topics. I mean,
Fun,
even right now,
enjoyable.
the presidential election is the first thing that pops up into my head. That is something that I'm totally going to have them write
Yeah.
and get interested in, and maybe even debate this
Yeah,
fall.
yeah,
So.
yeah. So they have to prove their argument
Yes.
by writing about it. Kind of like, that's kind of like the kind of thing you do, work on your thesis or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So
The type of writing that they do now is so much better than it used to be, especially when I was going through school.
Yeah.
It's much more like what they will use when they're in college or, beyond. So, but yes.
Yeah, so critical thinking, and really, I like that. That sounds, yeah, and it's just a thing, like you say, for 7th and 8th graders, because they like to argue anyway.
Right, so you just have to,
Yeah.
you have to give it to them in ways that you can keep it organized, but they'll enjoy it and they want to do it.
Do they
So,
still have to use their punctuation and
Yes.
those are
We definitely
important in
still
your
do grammar.
Yes.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear that.
Yes. We work on a lot of that in 2nd grade. We
Do
start
you?
early
Wow.
with that.
So give me an example, Amy, of some of the things that
Now, I
you...
teach all subject areas, not just one subject in particular. So just making it fun, making the activities, fun for the students, wanting them to come back to school every day,
Yeah,
make it enjoyable.
yeah. So you had to have given some examples of what you used to do that. So give me an example of what...
Lots of hands-on, lots of group activities for them to do. In my classroom, we have tables instead of individual desks. So they get to work,
I do too. We do a lot of partner work,
Right. Group work,
engagement.
and
It's just,
they like that.
And that's probably very good for social skills too, and like as
Exactly.
you teach teamwork and
Right.
sharing and
I make them present their arguments a lot for that reason, just because they have to learn, how to speak in public and how to speak, to others coherently and
yeah. So yeah, orally then they have to, and the same way with the 2nd graders have to.
I
So
know
that
have
they do start early with all
Presentations.
this.
Yes, I know last year we had a science project they had to get up and present. They worked on it at home, researched, an animal habitat. Then they brought it to school and they got to present what they researched and in front of the class, and they like that. you know.
Yeah. Provides a lot of self-confidence and improves their grammar and
Right.
Speaking skills.
speaking
and
skills. Yeah.
Presentation skills.
So that's great. Yeah. So, is there anything now that I know it's important to not miss any days of school? Because I just think anymore, you miss a day of school, that can throw you way behind.
It does.
Right.
It does.
And I guess you give them makeup work
Yes.
to take home. I mean, once they
But
come
it's not
back to
the
school,
same.
it's not the
Right.
same as
No.
being there.
No.
So I guess you would want to stress to parents how important it is if your kid says they're tired in the morning, unless they're
Go to
running
school.
a
Unless they're running a fever,
or
send them.
throwing up,
Right.
Yeah.
go to school.
Right.
You'll feel better once
Yes.
you get there.
Yeah.
And a
Yes.
lot of times, if they are absent, the parents will come and pick their work up, and that helps
That day,
too.
that does
they,
help.
Oh, that's
They don't
good.
have to get it the next day or whenever they do come back to school. They
Okay.
get a chance.
Can they
to-
get things online now too, as well?
It depends on the teacher. Some teachers keep their lessons, their daily activities and stuff on their website. Every teacher in Washington County has a web page,
Okay,
and you can get to them, I guess, through the
Washington
district
County
website.
homepage.
okay.
Yeah.
So they can get on the home page and go to
And
that
I think,
teacher's.
I know well, not for sure, but I'm pretty sure most of the high school teachers definitely keep all of their assignments online. And I update my page weekly, but not necessarily daily.
I see.
So, but a lot of teachers do.
And do they have that at the elementary
Yes,
school
we
level
have it
too?
too. Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Every
that's
teacher
good.
has their own web page.
And I guess the parents could even email you
Yes.
and say, if it's not on the webpage, like, my
Yes, they can
child
always
is
email us.
gonna have to be out today, they are ill or has a doctor's appointment.
Yes, and if they know in advance, it's especially good, because then we
We
can
can get the
prepare
work
and get it to them
Ready
before.
ahead of time.
Okay, so that's good. And I guess it's easy to email you all and all the teachers get back?
Yes.
It's online.
Hopefully.
Yes, as far as I know, but yes, I think we do.
I know you excellent teachers get back to the parents right away, don't you?
We try.
Yeah. And all of those things are so helpful that, parents didn't used to have.
I
Teachers
know.
didn't
Right.
used to have.
I know.
So now it makes communication, I would think, a whole lot easier.
She was talking about their agendas that they do at North Washington from kindergarten through 8th grade. We have what we call Tuesday folders, and we call them Tuesday folders because we send them home every Tuesday. And they'll have important documents in them. They'll have their homework in them. They'll have tests, test grades, and anything, that if at North, if they get a 70 or below, we have to send it home so parents know, and they have to sign it to send it back to us so we know that they're aware of their students' grade. So anything like that that's important, calendars, everything goes in this folder every Tuesday. And parents are expected to check it and sign it and send it home. So if they go to North, they've got that way of communicating. They can always write us. There's a comment section. They can always write us notes on there.
Oh, that's good. So every parent needs to know to look for that
Yes.
every Tuesday.
Yes, every
At
Tuesday.
their school,
At
yes.
And
North
what it-
Washington.
what
At
it-
my school, I don't think we have a particular day. I send mine home on Wednesday.
Okay.
And the
But you
parents
do
know that.
And the parents know that.
Yes, but I'm not for sure if every teacher, what day they send theirs on. We don't have a particular day that we send those home on.
But every teacher does do that.
I'm pretty sure, I'm not for sure exactly, but I know I send one home every Wednesday.
That's great. That's great.
Because
So that keeps
we'll
the
even
parent
start off at
informed.
the very beginning. Well, Thursday, we will give them those folders, and then we'll give them all the papers that have to be signed, Because you know how those are at the beginning of the year. There's
Yeah.
a stack
Lots
of
of
papers
papers.
that
Yeah.
have to
yeah.
be signed. But
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, that keeps the parent informed, and hopefully, the parents are interested enough in their children's education and realize the importance of going through that folder and
we want to know
signing
if they
things.
have any concerns or anything
Right.
that we want.
Questions.
Right. So
right.
if they see those, then they can call us or they can email us.
Right.
That's the idea of it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's great. I wish we'd had those things when my children,
I wish they kind of
I
had them
think
when
Blair
I was in
one
school.
semester, she didn't even do any work for half the till I went to a parent-teacher conference, and you know, you don't have. And so, how often do you have parent-teacher conferences?
In our school, we have 2. One in the fall, and then one.
Oh, so there's only one
We have 2.
per semester, though. I mean, one in the fall, and then one.
One in the spring, maybe, I think was when ours, like March, around March. The first one's like in October. And the
Okay.
second one's like in March.
I think
Okay.
that's
And
when we
then,
do
you
ours
know,
too.
if-
It's
if
usually
we
at
have-
it's in between like 9 weeks usually. So the end of the first 9 weeks and then the end of the third 9
Right,
weeks
I think ours
instead.
is the same.
I see. Okay.
And then if
So-
parents need or you know, if parents ask for other conferences, or if teachers want to have a conference, you know,
Anytime.
we'll do that
Oh,
also.
okay. Okay, so that's good.
Uh-huh.
So they can check the folder and continue to check that weekly, and then if they see a pattern or some concerns, then they can request a conference
Another
with the teacher.
conference.
They can
Yes.
also check their students' grades online if they sign up to do the parent portal with Infinite Campus, which is where we keep all students' grades. They can always, I don't exactly know how it works. I've not had a child in the system, so I've never had to do it as a parent, but I'm pretty sure they can do that.
I know that might be for the higher third and
Was
that
it just-
maybe.
okay.
Because we don't do number grades. We do letter
Okay.
grades.
I know in the
In
middle,
K1
maybe it
and
is,
2.
because I know in our middle
Okay.
school at North, you can do it, and I know at the high school that they can do it. So they can log in any time and see how the kind of grades that their student
So
is
how
getting.
do they do that? Go to the Washington County?
They should be able to do it
Board of
online.
Education, and then just go to the parent portal thing and
I'm not
sign
really
up?
sure how it works, but I do know that when we send home papers at the beginning of the year, we usually send one home
Explains
about
what
it.
they
It
have to
tells
do.
you all that
Yes.
that you'll get in the beginning of the school year.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, so there's no excuse for parents not to know what's
No.
going on with their children at school.
Right. Unless there's just really poor miscommunication on the teacher's part, but no,
Yeah,
there's really no reason.
yeah. Okay, well, that is really good news. So is there anything else you would like to share today with the with parents or students or
Just, I hope everyone's excited. It's always asked,
An
you know,
exciting time.
I get butterflies in my
I do
stomach
too.
still every beginning of the year. So
yeah, yeah,
So I just can't. I can't wait to meet them and
Yeah.
get started.
yeah. Well, it sounds exciting. I know it's always, and everybody gets their, a lot of kids get their new tennis shoes or
Haircut.
things, or their
Yes.
haircut, and they're all nicely groomed the first day of school, you
Right.
know.
We do
So
those things
exciting.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So I think that's great, and I want to, and now I have to ask you now, Allison. You are your husband and children, Daniel Carney, my sweet nephew, and you might not think he's so sweet.
not all the time. That's for sure.
He's pretty good though.
Most of the time. I
Yeah.
guess.
So, and that would be your husband, and you have 2 beautiful children.
Yes.
Celia and Joseph,
Mm-hmm.
and young ones, so that are not in school, of
No.
course, yet.
No, they're not yet.
Yeah, and but I want to congratulate you on being the teacher in excellence, and Amy, you're married to Paul Noel,
Yes.
and your children are
I have twin daughters.
right.
They're
Those
12. Yes.
12 now.
Catherine and Caitlin.
Yes.
They'll be in the
Wow.
7th grade.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Yes.
So they'll be at Washington County Middle School,
They go to St. Dominic.
St. Dominic.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I was going to have Miss Brunig on today to talk about St. Dominic and what's going on there at the beginning of the school year, but she was unable to be there. Be here due to illness, but we're going to have her on in a couple of weeks. So,
good.
Good.
so you've got those twins, lucky you. You know, I'm a twin.
Oh, I
Today
didn't
being
know
my
that.
our birthdays.
Oh.
I'll tell you how old, but at any rate, happy birthday to my twin brother Lee. I have to say that on the air today for
You've
Channel
always had
6.
to say our birthday. not
Our
my
birthday,
Yes.
and my we were born on our mother's birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So that was a pretty cool present. wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, Anyway, and lucky to have those twins, and
Yes.
and I just want to congratulate you both. And I'm looking forward to. I know the children and the parents are looking forward to a great school year, and I want to thank you for giving all that good advice today.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having us.
So, yeah, good luck.
Thank